I am studying in 9th standard. My school name is Vidya Pratishthan New English Medium School, Baramati. I am also a student of Acharya Academy. Today, I am going to explain you the Newton's first and third law of motion. Now, we will see Newton's first law of motion. Friends, do you know about balanced and unbalanced forces? I will tell you. So, we have played tug of war in our childhood. So long as the forces are applied on the both sides are equal, the center of the rope does not move. This is called as balanced force. And when the force applied on increases on one side, the center of the rope moves in that direction, though the other side is applying force. This is known as unbalanced force. The statement of Newton's first law is an object continues to remain at rest or in a state of uniform motion along a straight line is unless and until an external unbalanced force acts on it. When an object is at rest or in a state of uniform motion along a straight line, it does not mean that no forces are acting on it. Actually, there are number of forces acting on it, but they cancel each other so that the net force is zero. Newton's first law is oftenly referred to the law of inertia. Inertia is the tendency of the object which resists changes in motion. Now we will see some examples of Newton's first law of motion. When a car brakes suddenly, the passenger is thrown forward because of inertia which tries to keep the passenger in motion. Now we will see a practical example of Newton's first law of motion. Here I have taken a glass, a piece of card sheet and a coin. Now I will place the card sheet on the glass and the coin on it. Now I will apply the force to the card sheet, then the card sheet will move forward and the coin will drop into the glass because of its inertia. Now we will see Newton's third law of motion. In nature, force cannot act alone. Force is the reciprocal action between two objects. When forces are always applied in pairs, when one object applies force on another object, simultaneously the another object also applies force on the former object. These forces of the objects are always equal and opposite. This idea is expressed in the Newton's third law of motion. The force applied by the first object is called as action force, and the force applied by the second object on the first object is called as reaction force. The statement of Newton's third law of motion is every action has an equal and opposite reaction force which acts simultaneously. Now let's see some examples of Newton's third law. When we jump, our legs apply a force to the ground, and the ground also apply a force to our legs that propels us into the air. When a soldier shoots a bullet from his gun, at the same time the gun moves backward. This is also an example of Newton's third law of motion. When engineers apply Newton's third law of motion while designing rockets and other projectile devices. Now we will see a practical example of Newton's third law. Here I have a ball in my hand. When I will throw the ball on the wall, it will come back to me because when the wall will also apply an equal and opposite reaction force on the wall because of which it will come back to me. I hope that my all friends would have understood the concept of Newton's first and third law of motion. Thank you.